Pretty much like, yeah, things were out of character within probably a year. Yeah, depression, cutting. She just, yeah, was very dark and just wasn't herself, her normal self. And we sort of knew there was something wrong to the point where we had to call the psych team in at times where we were scared to even leave her alone. At that time we were really worried about her. We were pretty much on watch with her, and then she pretty much stormed out of the house, and we found her hanging in the car shed. Words can't say what, you know, it's hard as a mother. You literally feel helpless as a mother, seeing your daughter in such a mess and turmoil, and you don't know what's going on with her, and she's hanging helplessly in a car shed. And same as for her sister and brother. You know, it still feels like yesterday. You know, we still, I won't go near the car shed. None of us will go near the car shed. You just feel so helpless. You feel like, what have I done wrong, you know? What's going on with her? But luckily she survived that. That was when she had told us that she had an abortion, and told us about the health nurse that came into our home a year prior, and sat at our table and said that she had taken our daughter to a counselling meeting, which I remember very plainly, her sitting there, and I was very confused and thought, what, you know, what's going on? To find out it was all lies, that they had taken our daughter out of school hours without our knowledge, not just once, up to 4 or 5 times prior to taking her for an abortion. We as parents were utterly devastated. It took us a long time. It took us a very long time to get through it and deal with it as a family. You know, and there's still times when I talk about certain things, it still feels like yesterday. But the whole betrayal, you know, from the school and from the system and people that you're supposed to trust your children in, it was devastating. I dare say I would have been disappointed for probably 5 minutes. But, you know, we love our children, you know, we love our grandchildren, and we believe in life. We would have taken our grandchild in, because it is our Maori culture. I mean, I grew up knowing that we look after our own, we take care of our own, you know, we take them in, our, you know, grandparents take their grandchildren in and they raise them. And way back then, usually a grandparent would take the first grandchild in and raise the grandchild. So, I mean, it wouldn't have been any different. We would have taken our grandbaby and we would have raised our grandbaby if we had the opportunity. When I was 16, I was in Australia at that time, and I fell pregnant and had an abortion. I remember coming out of the procedure and waking up, and I was literally, I couldn't even speak for days. I was riddled with grief, because I knew at that point, deep in my being or in my soul, I knew I had killed my own baby. And that's hard to live with, that guilt and that grief. That was probably the worst day of my life, a day that took me 20 odd years to overcome. I suppose because I've been through it, it was something I never ever wanted my daughters to experience, or I just, you know, I didn't want them to go through that or even know anything about it, you know. I tried to protect my daughter as much as I could, because of my own experience. I would like to see the law change. I'd like to see parental consent changed, parental notification. As parents, we have rights to know what's going on with our kids. At the end of the day, I still believe that it is our children's decision and what they make. They have free will, but I believe that the law does need to change.